So let's go to our main storyboard, and we need to wait to access our view here without any segue. So we need a storyboard identifier here. So make sure you select it and set the storyboard identifier user table view. I'm going to set mine this. Then what I want to do here is, instead of my call view here, I want to have my chats view. So let's change our icon here. Okay, and I'm going to delete this thing as well, and I'm going to embed this into navigation controller. All right, so the title is going to be chats, and I'm going to add a button, which will be this button here. We need a bar button item here, and it's going to be compose, I think. Yeah, this is the Apple default icon there. So we put a compose button here. Okay, so we have changed this view, and let's create a view controller that will control this view here. Command N under Cocoa Touch class. This is going to be a subclass of UI view controller, and it's going to be called, let me check my code here, chats view controller. Okay, create, and just to remove this empty code here, and we need to set our view controller that will control this view, which is chats view controller. All right, let's open our, actually let's first clean, Shift Command K, and then we open our assistant editor here. So if I select my chats, and hopefully, no, it doesn't show. I guess it just needs some time there to realize that we have a new thing there. But let's try with the manual. So I'm going to add my button here under IP. I'm sorry. I'm going to put a mark here. IP actions. And I'm going to add my button here. So it's going to be an action, and I'm going to call this create new chat button pressed. Okay, let's close our assistant editor there. And let's go to our chat view controller. So all I want to do here is we just select, we just display our table view that we newly created. So let's access our storyboard to get our view. So we say let user vc is equals, and we say UI storyboard dot init with the name main bundle nil, and we are going to instantiate view controller with identifier. And just let me copy my identifier because I don't want to make typos here. Now this is my identifier, and I instantiate with identifier here, and I need to tell my code that this is as user table view controller, and then I'm going to say self dot navigation controller push view controller, and we're going to say user VC animated true. Okay, let's run our code. I have an error here which complains, and I see the reason why, because I forgot to put at obj C here. So let's clean and let's run again. So every time you are using this selector and telling a function name, for now you have to put an Objective-C in front of the function. Otherwise it will crash the application. Alright, it's done. So we have our chats view now. We are going to fix the title thing later. If I click the button now, it loading goes, doesn't show anything because we have no users inside our city. So if I click country and all users, you may see nothing is happening because we didn't do the function correctly. Every time we change a value here, we should call the load function again, which we are not doing. So we are going to fix it. Let's go to our main storyboard. Open Assistant Editor. Under, let's see if it's automatic. I'm going to put here mark IB action. Okay, and I'm going to control and drag my segment here. Instead of outlet, I'm going to put an action type. We're going to put as UI segmented control, and I'm going to say filter segment value changed. Okay, this is it. So every time our user changes the value of our segmented control, this function will be called. So we can update our load function. So I'm going to use a switch statement here. The value is going to be our sender, and we're going to access the selected segment index. So depending, right now we have 0, 1, and 2. 0, like it's zero-based array. So in case if it's 0, we know that it's the city. So I'm going to say load users k city. And then we say case 1, and we say load users k country, and default, which will be our default case, I'm going to put nothing, so we're not going to do anything. And case 2 will be load users, and we're going to pass an empty string here. So it will load all the users. And in case of our default, actually I need to return here, not just an empty string there. Okay, so let's run our application again. Okay, so our my city doesn't have any user, my country has no user, and all, we say we have 3 users. Okay, and if I click on, let me open the area here and I delete all the code. If I click on the avatar image, it should tell me the index path of the clicked image. So it's avatar tab optional. So it says section 0, row 1, which is 0 page. So this is row 1. This is row 2, and this is 0, 0. Okay, so we display all our users correctly, and also our avatar tab is working nicely.